I've got a top 5 list, as I've been promising.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because the NFL draft is over.
Over.
The talent evaluation portion of our calendar is over. Free agency's over. Combine's over. Free agency's over. Obviously, there are still free agents. And so there are not as many mysteries now that Rodgers is a Jet and Lamar's been signed. I mean, that's all we've been talking about other than the draft, right?
Right.
So what are the biggest mysteries now that this is all complete? I need NFL Films music for the top 5 biggest NFL mysteries post NFL draft. Number 5 on the list. We're not talking about this team. We didn't talk about their draft. And we're talking about Lamar and Aaron joining this conference that already has Mahomes and Allen and Burrow, and Russ has got a new coach. All right. Number 5 on the list, the Deshaun Watson Browns. You tell me, right? You tell me what the Browns are going to look like with Watson having a full offseason, a full training camp, and a full-on Cleveland Browns behind the Deshaun Watson train effort. What's this going to look like? And you talk to any Cleveland Brown fan. You talk to any Cleveland Brown fan, and they absolutely wanted the defensive coordinator replaced. Joe Woods, who came in with Kevin Stefanski in 2020. It's Jim Schwartz now coordinating the defense.
Schwartz.
Nobody talking about what this Browns team is going to look like because we're focused, obviously, on the Burrow Bengals. And I talked about the Steelers having the second best draft of the draft. And then, obviously, there's Lamar. So put it all together. What in the world are the Cleveland Browns going to look like?
Let me just rattle off some of their offense.
Please.
You know we got Watson, Nick Chubb, one of the best backs in the league, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Bell is there, Marquise Goodwin, David Njoku. They got a great offensive line. Oh, yeah, Myles Garrett is still there.
We also not even talk about who they drafted.
Yeah.
So
I think people are maybe still afraid to invoke the name Deshaun Watson right now in the media, so maybe that's why they're not getting it.
Number 5 on the list. Biggest NFL mystery post-draft is the Deshaun Watson Browns. Number 4 is who's going to win the NFC South. This is a wide open division that has a rookie, number 1 overall pick, a second-year player who's essentially getting his first full year of starting in the NFL, and Desmond Ridder. Baker Mayfield, last year's Carolina starter week 1, is going to be Tampa starter week 1, we assume. And then there's Derek Carr Saints. Again, you tell me. Who's your favorite in that division?
Saints?
Chris, I literally forgot Carr was the Saints quarterback until that picture popped up. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Don't forget, the Jets told him he was going to make the Hall of Fame if he became the Jets quarterback before he realized what the Jets were putting down, which is, you know.
Smoke screen?
No, Woody Johnson's jet in Malibu to go take Rodgers to dinner.
Malibu.
So, honestly, you tell me. NFC South is a total mystery.
Wide open.
And you can't say the Panthers can't win it. They've got a we'll see what Bryce Young looks like as a first overall quarterback. He can come out of the box fresh with a team that's got Miles Sanders, and now Adam Thielen's part of this offense. The defense is Brian Burns, Frank Reich. How many wins do you think he might be worth? If DJ Moore kept his helmet on last year in Atlanta, they might have won the division.
That's a good point.
So, number 3 on this list, biggest NFL mystery post-NFL draft, the Sean Payton Broncos. I told y'all coming out of the Super Bowl that this was going to be the offseason story that nobody's going to be talking about, but it fascinated me. What in the world? They picked up Jerry Jeudy's 5th-year option. Remember there was even conversation that he was tradable or on the block?
He's out.
That'd have been a mistake.
What in the world is this team going to look like?
I think they're going to be good.
Because obviously, and I'm not
last year.
I am treading lightly, to use the Breaking Bad phrase, because I broke bad on Chiefs Kingdom last year.
I understand.
You know, Russ is done. By the way, Russ is toast, according to 90% of the NFL fan base.
Uh-huh.
And I might be underestimating that percentage, too. Let's see. Let's see how toast Russ is.
But if you take the wild card teams, Rich, last year.
Yes.
Okay, Chargers, Ravens, Dolphins. Can the Broncos upend one of those guys?
Why not?
Why not, right?
Why couldn't they? Absolutely. Absolutely. Number 2 on this list, biggest NFL mystery post-NFL draft. The Ravens offense. I don't know. Hey, you know what it's not going to look like? 3 tight ends that two of them you've never heard of.
Last year's
at a fullback. That could still be a fullback. And, and no deep passing game of which to speak.
Yeah, that's gone.
Todd Monken is coming in from the University of Georgia, former NFL offensive coordinator as well. The Greg Roman, in the same way that I think Browns fans wanted Joe Woods out as a defensive coordinator, a lot of Ravens fans were like, okay, Greg Roman, we get it. Great job, all those years in the early parts of Lamar's tenure. Thank you for helping us transition mid-season from Joe Flacco to Lamar. Thanks for all those years, and thanks for the memories. I don't know what this offense is going to look like. Can you imagine? Because Lamar said he can throw for 6,000 yards, and this offense was like, okay. 6,000 yards, obviously, a lot of yards.
That's a lot.
But 5,000? 4,500? Don't laugh. I don't know. You don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to look like. That's why it's mystery number 2. Yeah. And then number 1, it's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. The biggest mystery post-NFL draft is the Aaron Rodgers New York Jets. Oh, my gosh. Super Bowl or bust. Got to at least make a championship game because you don't know how long he's going to be as the quarterback of the Jets. Hey, folks, he ain't using this as a transfer portal, the Minnesota Vikings, like his predecessor. Okay, so...
Vikings transfer portal?
Yes. So I don't believe we could sit here and say it's a one-shot deal in New York, unless it's not. And then we could sit here and say it's going to take a long time for him to build chemistry, unless it won't.
He's going to show up more than 50% OTAs.
I get it. I think we're going to see it all play out. The question is what happens if they do start 1-2, 2-3, 3-5? Will the RELAX stuff play in New York? Or let's be positive. How about like a 6-1 start, 7-1 start, 8-2 start? How about they come out of the box and they do look as good as a team that was young and dynamic last year? All they needed was more points. The Aaron Rodgers New York Jets is the number 1 mystery post-NFL draft for me in the NFL.
You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
And then, of course, you're always wondering about the fifth-year options, right, of players being picked up. That deadline happened this week.
Yeah, Tuesday.
And then, of course, you're wondering about how does somebody need to play to get that option picked up, say, in the future? And how does that all play out in the fall? What about somebody who just had a breakout season? What will happen? And to me, that leads to the final mystery is, will Verizon pick up Einstein's fifth bar option? Let me tell you something, folks. Let me tell you something. We're not talking about him right now. We're not talking about Einstein anymore.
Come on.
The whole brilliant kaput.
Brilliant!
I think
Kaput!
We'll find out this fall. Will they actually bring Einstein back and pick up his fifth bar option? So maybe he comes back this fall with great cell reception and his bicycle, and we find out where that's led him on his journey. That is a huge mystery that I believe is going to be front and center for all
That's
of us
your boy,
here.
Brockman.
Are you proud of yourself?
I'm so proud of myself.
That's your man right there.
You got to like it. Fifth bar option?
Brilliant!
They pick up his fifth bar option.
Where were you on the foot? Like, what part of the country were you over yesterday when you thought of that?
No. This is all done in New York.
Oh, wow.
You know, the thing is, if you were like a normal person and fast forwarded through the commercials, we never would have had all these.
This was
months of
also
this
picked up in
Einstein.
Kansas City, because I will mention this to you. I know you might accuse me of name dropping, but too bad. It's my life. Paul Rudd is fascinated, and that was his screensaver for months, was Paul Giamatti as Einstein.
Really?
Yes. And he may or may not have come up with the idea of a fifth bar option.
That weirdly doesn't surprise me.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. This guy.
And scene. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.